It's time to get down to the brass tacks. My name is Mel Sams and I'm the Managing Associate of Sams CPA. And today I'd like to talk to you about cannabis-related businesses in the cannabis industry, some of the challenges that industry is facing right now, and how a good CPA can help you manage that. First and foremost, we could do a whole library of videos about the cannabis industry and about the implications of being in that line of business, as well as the tax ramifications per the current tax code. But in this video, we're going to go over a high-level overview of some of the key points that you should hire a competent CPA to help you with. First and foremost, even as we just saw in the recent midterm elections, another state, Utah, voted to legalize medical marijuana, cannabis in their state. So we now have a handful of states and more to come that have legalized recreational and medicinal, some states that have legalized medicinal, and other states that it's probably a matter of time before they make that determination as well. With that said, the cannabis industry has the potential to become a multi-billion-dollar industry in the next few years. And as CPAs, we need to be on our game and know exactly how to help these businesses, because this is a business that's very underserved. This market is extremely underserved right now because there are a lot of CPAs who are choosing not to do business with people in this industry. We, on the other hand, embrace these businesses and know that you guys are going to need good help, competent advice to navigate the very difficult waters ahead of you. So, with that said, one of the biggest issues right now for the cannabis industry is Section 280E. What Section 280E is an old code section that essentially says that the income derived from an illegal trade or business, now illegal because cannabis, marijuana, is still Schedule 1 at the federal level, so it is still a narcotic, illegal narcotic. So any income derived from an illegal trade or business should be reported and taxed. So we agree with that. But here's the challenge. You are only able to offset that income with your cost of goods sold, your direct costs. So 280E says if I'm a cannabis cultivator or I'm a dispensary, I can't deduct my insurance premiums in full. I can't deduct my marketing. I can't deduct a lot of these things. I can only deduct my direct cost of goods sold. That's a challenge. That's a problem. However, there is one silver lining that we have going for us. That is Code Section 263A. Sorry to throw all these code sections out there at you. It's not necessarily important that you memorize what they say, but that you know those key words when talking about the financial and tax ramifications in this industry. But 263A says that anyone who is in a manufacturing business or producing things or carries inventory is able to allocate and should allocate a certain amount of their indirect costs to their inventory. So 263A is our mechanism for combating the negative effects of 280E. 280E says we can only deduct direct costs. 263A says we can make an allocation of indirect costs against our inventory and include that in inventory, which then becomes cost of goods sold. So it's super important that if you're operating in the cannabis industry, you have a CPA who knows this business, who knows how to properly do these allocations and document them. Because we're also going to see a lot of scrutiny, I think, at the state level, whereby the states have regulations for how things are supposed to be done, and the federal government, and you're going to have to be in conformity with these regulations, and a lot of that comes down to your accounting. Is your accounting in conformity with the state laws? And does it support 280E, 263A justifications? So that's very important. The second challenge in the cannabis industry, and if you're in the industry, you know, the challenge is transacting funds. How do I get paid? How do I pay people? How do I bank? Can I bank? How do I accept credit cards, debit cards? A whole nother video could be done about this particular topic, and we keep coming back to that Schedule 1 narcotic issue whereby it's illegal at the federal level, so banks are not most banks are not doing business with people in that industry. But there are mechanisms for transacting payments that are out there. And one to note, and we have a video about this, is cryptocurrency. If you're using cryptocurrency, you need to be sure that you know how that is taxed and know how to properly account for it. But these transactions that you're making, a good CPA can walk you through the most efficient way to do that and help you navigate those waters so that you stay in compliance. If you accept a cash payment in excess of $10,000, there's a form that has to be filed with the IRS each time. For instance, a good CPA who has industry experience is going to know that. They're going to keep you on top of that so that you're in compliance. And again, we will be doing additional videos in the future on this topic about specific segments of the topic. But to cap it off, if you're interested in starting a business in this market, each state has an application process. Each state has requirements for how records have to be kept. You need a good CPA from the start that's going to help you navigate that process and show you the right way to go. So if you have any questions, comments, or ideas for future videos, please let us know. If you would like to be notified about future videos, please subscribe to our channel.